Good morning, all you lovely people, and welcome once again to the official topic talk. Now, I've just come across this article in the Daily Mirror, which is in relation to my previous video about Camp Beagle, which is a protesting group against animals being used for experimental purposes. And the company in question is MBR Acre Limited. And I'm just going to read you this newspaper article. Whimpering dogs forced into cages on UK factory farm ahead of lab experiments. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm an animal lover, especially dogs and cats. Now, I can't see any reason why any company anywhere in the world should be allowed to breed 2,000 puppies of the Beagle breed. Don't matter what breed, but to breed dogs to be used for lab experiments. It's disgusting. It should never be allowed, and it should be banned. They should all be arrested for animal cruelty charges. Warning: distressing images, exclusive footage shows beagles being pulled onto overcrowded trolleys and whimpering before being force-fed chemicals for 90 days in what comedian Rick Gervais called terrible cruelty. Thousands of dogs are being bred in factory farms each year for painful toxicity experiments that take place in labs across the UK, says campaigners. New footage filmed at MBR Acres in Cambridgeshire, believed to be Britain's biggest beagle farm, reveals their panic-stricken, distressed cries. Workers can be seen piling dogs into overcrowded and small trolleys, some by the scruff of the neck. Others can be heard whimpering in crates as they are loaded into lorries to be transported to labs across the country. Commonly, they leave at 16 weeks old to be used in experiments which campaigners say involve being force-fed chemicals for up to 90 days with no pain relief or anesthetic. Many dogs are killed at the end of the experiments, according to animal welfare charities. Actor Rick Gervais and his Afterlife co-star Peter Egan have now launched a campaign to ban the practice, saving thousands of dogs for what they say is terrible cruelty. Now in this picture you can see the dogs and how they're loaded into crates. That's disgusting. And anybody working for this company, MBR Acres, ought to be arrested and charged with animal cruelty. Ricky59 said, "I'm deeply shocked to learn that thousands of beautiful beagles, or intensively bred, right here in the peace of the British countryside, for painful and terrifying toxicity experiments that are also now proven to entirely foul the search for human treatments and cures. UK law currently requires all new medicines to be tested on 2 animals before being allowed on the market. 1 rodent and 1 non-rodent, commonly dogs. Beagles have been used to develop new drugs for serious illnesses in humans, including high cholesterol, asthma, epilepsy, diabetes, and also cancer. Latest figures show dogs were used in 4,227 experiments in 2019. Beagles were used for 96% of tests. People for the ethic treatment on animals say more of the drug testing sees dogs repeatedly force-fed or forcing in-house substances between 28 and 90 days to measure the effects of repeat exposure on the liver, kidneys, lungs, heart, and nervous system. MBR Acres in Wyton, outside Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire, is owned by Marshall Bio Resources, a global supplier of animals for biomedical research for decades. Breeds between 1,600 and 2,000 dogs each year for medical testing. A spokeswoman said, "We adhere to rigorous legislation through restrictive inspection routines for the breeding of laboratory animals at our facilities. Animal welfare is always our top priority." How can that be possible when, they just go on to kill the dogs once they've finished with their experiments with them? That's not thinking about the animal welfare at all. It's disgusting. And I'm glad there's groups out there like Camp Beagle that protest against companies like this, because it's downheartening, especially from an animal lover, and especially of a lover of dogs. They're not once thinking about the animal's welfare. All they're interested in is breeding the dogs for experimental purposes, and this behaviour should be banned from within the UK. It is counted as animal cruelty, and I think the law should come down on them like a ton of bricks. The UK has the most demanding regulations in the world, placing greater requirements on those who propose using animals in medical research than any other territory, and demanding the highest welfare standards. The overwhelming consensus of scientific opinion is that animals are needed in a small percentage of medical research projects, and that results from testing in dogs, when combined with work in other species, provide data that best predict human responses to drugs. Governments internationally take note of this and legally demand the use of animals where science advises that it is necessary. This issue is revisited regularly because it is an important one, but it is worth remembering that we exist only because successive UK governments, including the current one, demand that all potential medicines are tested in animals before being given to humans and animals. Scarrett, a beagle who endured 2 years as a laboratory dog before being released, was made an Daily Mirror Animal Hero in 2018. She was freed from her life of misery when she was released with 6 other dogs in late 2016 to a US rescue charity. It helped British couple Janine and Phil Green adopt her in 2017. Despite her past, she is now figureheaded for anti-animal testing campaigners for life on Earth, backed by TV star Rick Gervais and Peter Egan, helping them call for a public scientific debate on claims that animal testing is necessary. More than 175 MPs backed the call, along with TV nationalist Chris Packham, Dr. Jane Goodall and Paul O'Grady. Ricky said, "Please help us raise awareness of this appalling state of affairs. Help me ban the factory farming of dogs with a thorough public scientific hearing to judge the outdated and false claims about human medicines which continue to fund this terrible cruelty to man's best friend." Peter Hegan, 74, added, "With the recent passing of Finnish Law Part 2, cruelty to the dogs and other animals come with an up to 5 years prison sentence. I am appalled, therefore, to learn that thousands of dogs are incarcerated in intensive breeding units right here in the UK to prepare them for frightening and painful experiments that can involve being force-fed chemicals for up to 90 days with no pain relief or anaesthetic. Experts in the scientific community report wildly on the failures of these procedures in the search for human treatments and cures, including the editor-in-chief of the British Medical Journal and the FDA, which states that 9 out of 10 new medicines fail to pass clinical trials because animals cannot predict human responses. The pair have joined with Dr. Lisa Cameron, MP, chair of the All-Parties Parliamentary Group for Dog Welfare, to launch a new parliamentary early day motion 175, which calls for the government to mandate a rigorous public scientific hearing on claims that experiments on dogs and other animals can predict the response of humans. Dr. Lisa Cameron, MP, said dogs are man's best friend, yet thousands of beagles are bred every year in the UK for painful toxicity experiments that are today widely reported to be failing the search for human treatments and cures. I think that's disgusting, people. And I think all those that work for this company, MBR Acres, need to be arrested. It's an out and out animal cruelty at its finest. And I'm so glad that there are protest groups like Camp Beagle. You can find Camp Beagle's YouTube channel. I'll put a link to their channel in the comment section. I'm glad there's groups like Camp Beagle who protest outside MBR Acres unit, you know, to show the world, you know, what they're doing is wrong. It's animal cruelty and it will not be tolerated. Well, hope the rest of you have rest of a lovely Tuesday day, and I'll catch you on the next side.